Prof, regarding, excuse me, again.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, kena start semula.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Mr. Said, now I'm recording our lecture so that some students, they can view again the video if they miss anything. And then for those who cannot attend, they can attend the lecture by viewing the video. The attendance is still counted even if you watch the video. Okay, this is Advanced Research Methodology MFQ 8113. Okay, and the objective of this class is to understand various aspects related to the practice of conducting research, and then to apply or to relate or to apply the learned knowledge on research to conduct the academic research or writing of thesis, and to identify the process of doing research, including fieldwork, coding, editing, analyzing, interpreting, and writing research or thesis. Okay, and this class, altogether we have 42 hours of online meeting, 36 hours of lectures, and 6 hours of presentation and exam. We have 2 presentations. One is a presentation for individual projects, and then the second presentation is for the assignment. Individual project consists of the initial plan, and assignment is more complete materials that you will present in the PhD proposal defense. Okay. Mr. Shah Iradat, you can ask any question.
Yeah, I'm just listening to you. I just wanted to ask you, Professor, like if suppose someone it's a good idea, like if someone misses your lecture, then he still has the access, and if he like get the recorded lectures, so it will be counted as an attendance. It's a very good idea. But will you upload these lectures to anywhere, or the student who has missed, he will have to ask you to give that recorded lectures?
I have, you know, Mr.
Or will
Said,
you upload it somewhere?
yes, I'm a very famous celebrity, and I have YouTube TV, Dr. Yusuf TV. I will upload in the Dr. Yusuf TV. So I'm trying to be a very famous YouTuber. So I will upload and give the link to my channel later. Okay, thank you for reminding me. I will give you the channel, the link to the channel, Dr. Yusuf TV, and it contains all my lectures for this semester and also for the previous semester. So
yeah, that is a good idea. Yeah, it is a very good idea.
So I'm trying to be famous.
You have already.
But I'm very disappointed.
No, you are not trying. You are not trying to be famous. You are trying to help out your students.
I'm very disappointed because you know, the subscriber for my channel is only 49 people.
49 but qualified people. Very qualified.
I want to reach 49K.
So, now this is not 49. This will be inshallah 50 today.
49, but
Including
49,
me.
but all professors, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will give you the link, and you can view also on the previous semesters. But you
All
don't
right.
have to. I think it's boring. The lecture for previous semester is boring,
yeah.
and lecture for this semester, inshallah, will not be boring.
So you change the name. You change the name your YouTube, you know, Dr. Professor Yusuf Club. So all
Okay.
member has to be club, you know, Professor
Okay.
Clubs of Dr. Yusuf.
And then you can viral
Yeah.
with your friends so that I
Yeah.
can be famous.
Yeah, yeah. So everybody see, oh, Ibu Tuti also become professor ya under Dr. Professor Yusuf.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. Okay.
Okay, these are the topics.
Professor, you are already
Yeah.
among students, you know. MashaAllah, you are very popular among your students. So I think it is a good popularity.
No wonder Ibu Susi doesn't want to transfer to others. Supervisor, he wants to keep you. Yang dipegang yo. No wonder. Yeah. See the back.
I'm just joking. Actually, I'm a low profile guy. Nobody knows me. when I go to the fish market or someplace or to some grocery store, some people call me uncle. Some people call me different names. They don't know me. Nobody knows me. Okay.
Yeah, most of the time this happens with us as well. You're right.
Okay, so these are some of the topics that we will cover: business research, strategies, research design, planning a research project, and formulating research questions. Then the nature of qualitative research, and some of the qualitative research methods, including ethnography, case studies, and some other approach of qualitative research. And then we will discuss how to analyze the data for qualitative research. And then we go to quantitative research, and then population and sampling, questionnaire design and fieldwork, and quantitative data analysis. And at this stage, we will also include some recent data analysis regarding quantitative research. And finally, writing up business research. Your assignment can be written in English and also in Bahasa. Okay, so the references for this class is Creswell and also my lecture notes. I will send to you the textbook written by Creswell. Okay. But I think the main reference is the lecture notes that I give to you, and the lecture notes will still be improved from time to time. For example, maybe later on, I will send to this WhatsApp the same title, lecture notes, and you'll find that the one that I will send is the improved version of this current lecture notes. Saya akan edit nota kuliah dari semasa ke semasa, dan saya akan hantar dari semasa ke semasa. Sebab saya masih lagi dalam proses menulis. Jadi mungkin ada beberapa kesilapan yang belum sempat saya edit kesemuanya. Jadi saya akan Saya akan bagi update di semasa ke semasa. Dan saya akan hantar buku Creswell and Creswell. Buku ni adalah mahal, tapi saya bagi percuma secara e-book. Okay. Kalau nak beli harga dia lebih kurang 200 lah.
Oh, okay.
So saya bagi percuma, tapi e-book lah, boleh print sendirilah.
Very kind ya.
Okay.
Terima kasih, Prof.
Ya, very kind.
Sama-sama.
Terima kasih.
Saya tak dapat melihat semua orang.
Pak Saputra in black.
Apa tadi?
Yeah, I cannot see your face, Pak.
Ada Encik Masri, ada Dr. Sufyan, Ustaz Suraidi, Encik Abdul Adi, Mr. Said Iradat, Ustaz Azizul. Okey. Ini Bapa Ari ya?
Belum muncul ya. Belum. Ada.
Okey. Boleh tanya soalan sebelum kita mula?
Ya.
Boleh nampak?
Nampak bagus.
Okey.
Nampak, Prof.
So today we will cover some of the basic definitions and basic concepts related to research. Now, what is research? Research is defined as the creation of new knowledge. Research ialah untuk memperolehi pengetahuan yang baru, untuk mendapatkan pengetahuan yang baru, and or the use of existing knowledge in a new and creative way, atau menggunakan pengetahuan sedia ada dalam situasi baru, dalam cara yang baru dan cara yang kreatif. So as to generate new concepts, methodologies and understandings, supaya hasil daripada research itu akan terhasil konsep baru ataupun metodologi yang baru ataupun pemahaman yang baru, knowledge yang baru. Okay. Mr. Said Iradat, do you have any other definitions?
Professor.
What is your idea of research? What is research to you?
Yeah, you know what? When you were just defining this research, the word research, one thing was coming in my mind like as a joke, like to do some search again and again and again and again is a research, but that is just a word translation. Yeah, that is the word in translation. But the research is basically to come up with some new ideas, to exploit some new ways to do something, or to come up with a new idea, to invent something which hasn't been done before, or to find an alternative way to do a job. I mean, this is the research.
Thank you, Mr. Said Iradat. You are 100% correct.
No problem. Thank you, Professor. Thank
you. Dr. Sufyan.
Okay.
What is research?
Okay, so research for me is we try to solve the problem in the real world problem in simple terms. So I think Mr. Irada already explained in very good way. So I try to save my words. I think what I can say is research if we want to try to solve the problem that occurring in our society. Boleh bro macam tu.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very
correct,
good.
correct.
Dr. Sufyan, very good. Encik Masri, what is your research?
Yeah, Prof. For me, I think research is a systematic and scientific approach to obtain knowledge and to solve problem.
Okay, Mr. Masri is an expert in this research.
Yes,
Hmm.
right.
So he give a very exact definition.
So we should ask Mr. Masri to give talk or to deliver our class also.
Yes, we will invite him and we'll give him a slot on this later on. He will take up a
Already have
slot.
Yusuf here.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a good idea. Yeah.
Ibu Susi, what is the research?
Susie is not coming.
No, sorry, Ibu Tuti, sorry.
Okay, for me, research is actually an activity that resulted a scientific, and the best way to prove what your hypothesis, So when you have an hypothesis, then you need to do something to prove it. That's through research, because you cannot just say, but you have to get opinions from other people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So actually there are many definitions of research.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So what I put up here is, I think, the summary of what research is, because there are three types of research: pure research, applied research, and we call experimental development research. Usually we talk about two, basic research and applied research. Okay. Then why we do research? There are many purposes of conducting social research. Why you do research? Because you want to get your PhD. Right. So, Ibu Susi, sorry, Ibu Tuti, why you do research?
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep confusing. I keep confused.
As entity, yeah.
Next time, remember,
Two T. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the purpose of research for me, as I said, to get a proof from what is your assumption in your mind or hypothesis. So it will be, created or resulted a scientific, So just to ensure that our hypothesis is right.
Okay. Encik Abdul Hadi, apa tujuan kita buat research? What are the purposes of research, especially in our field? We are in the category of social research. Why we want to do research?
Okay, for me, Doctor, I think dia most kepada untuk kita resolve certain issues lah, through I think to close any gaps in the existing knowledge, the practical approach in the society. I think basically that
Yes.
is summary, just to resolve certain issues through certain methodology and to close any gaps in the existing knowledge and the approach.
Exactly. To find the research gap.
I think that
Yeah.
that's all.
Yeah. Thank you. Exactly. So to find the research gap and to fill the research gap, right? And in doing so, extend the current boundary of knowledge. That's what the research is all about. Siapa lagi nak jawab ni? Ustaz Suraidi, cuba tengok. Kita buat research ni sebab apa? Selain pada untuk dapat PhD lah. Sebab apa?
Okay. Bagi research ni kita buat research akan wujudkan beberapa teori baru dan dengan teori baru ni dapat
hilang. Suara Ustaz Aziza hilang.
Ya, Prof.
Tadi suara Ustaz Suraidi, suara Ustaz Suraidi tadi hilang. Dia pergi mana hilang? Ustaz Aziza cuba ni.
Okey. Kalau ikut sama macam Ustaz Abdul Hadi sebut tadi lah. Kita nak cari solution untuk selesaikan satu benda tu. Mungkin daripada research tu kita boleh tambah baik lah apa yang sedia ada tu.
Okey. Semua tu betul. Dia bergantung kepada jenis apa jenis research yang kita nak buat. Kita ada jenis berbentuk basically kita ada 3 jenis research. Satu tahap exploration, yang kedua tahap description, yang ketiga tahap prediction. Exploration, description and prediction. Okey, yang pertama research berbentuk exploration. We call exploratory research. Exploratory research is done on new topic or relatively under research topic. Ada tajuk yang orang belum buat ataupun sikit sangat kajian tentang tajuk tersebut. So exploratory research can help us fill a gap in our knowledge about a new or under research topic or approach the topic from a different perspective to generate new and emerging insights or understandings. So for exploratory research, researchers conduct a literature review and come up short. Jadi untuk exploratory research ini, nak buat literature review masalah sikit. Kerana mungkin tidak ada ataupun sangat sedikit research yang dibuat dalam bidang itu. So we come up short on the literature review. So bila tak banyak, so this absence of adequate research is often an indicator that exploratory research is needed. Bila kita search tak banyak literature review dalam bidang ni, itu menunjukkan bahawa kajian kita ni berbentuk exploratory. So such research may prompt further investigation, including the development of an appropriate methodological plan. Kalau topik itu belum banyak dibuat kajian, jadi kajian yang kita laksanakan jadi kita perlu buat lebih banyak kajian lah. Okay. Kemudian mungkin kita perlu develop metodologi yang baru atau metodologi yang berbeza. Okay, yang tu exploratory research. Kemudian ada research yang bertahap description. When we want to describe individuals, groups, activities, events or situations. So itu dipanggil descriptive research. We just describe without giving any justifications, without explaining why it happens, without explaining the factors that influence the phenomena. Jadi dalam descriptive research ni kita tidak menerangkan kenapa sesuatu itu berlaku, apakah faktor-faktor yang menyebabkan sesuatu itu berlaku. Kita cuma menerangkan tentang apa yang berlaku. Sama ada berkaitan dengan individu, kumpulan, aktiviti, event ataupun situasi. So yang tu descriptive research. Descriptive research aims to generate thick descriptions of social life. Thick description ataupun rich description of social life. Okay, that provide details, meanings, and context, typically from the perspective of the people living in it. Sebagai contoh, kalau nak kaji tentang kehidupan orang asli di mana Cameron Highland, menggunakan descriptive research. Jadi pengkaji itu akan pergi ke tempat tersebut, okay, tinggal di situ untuk beberapa ketika, 3 bulan, 4 bulan bersama orang asli. And then for example, dia nak describe dari segi behavior orang asli, apa orang asli buat di waktu pagi, tengah hari, petang, bagaimana social life dan sebagainya. Jadi itu dinamakan descriptive research. Dia selalunya kaya ataupun padat, yang mengandungi banyak maklumat, dan dia boleh jadi berbentuk kuali atau kuanti. Yang saya terangkan tadi adalah berbentuk kuali lah. Ada juga descriptive research berbentuk kuanti yang di present dalam bentuk table, tetapi dia punya description about the data is very rich. Kawan saya ada buat PhD di UK dan data dia hanyalah deskriptif, sikit saja data, tapi penerangannya sangat banyak, sangat rich, dan dia dapat PhD. Data dia very simple saja. Data tentang kemiskinan di kalangan orang Melayu. Very simple data, tapi dia punya penerangan sangat rich. So that is called the descriptive research. Jadi descriptive research pun boleh dapat PhD ni. Tapi kena pandai menerangkan.
Sorry Doktor, interrupt.
Yes, go ahead. Siapa?
Okay, Abdul Hadi, Doktor.
Ya, Abdul Hadi.
Basically how we differentiate between, I think, how to decide whether it should be qualitative or quantitative, Doktor? Is it the research?
Very good. We will reach that later, but since you asked, I will answer it now. InsyaAllah. Very good question, Cik Abdul Hadi. So soalannya, the question is, how or why we decide which type of research we want to choose, quanti or quali. Okay. So first of all, we have to understand what is the quali, what is the qualitative research, and what is the quantitative research. Okay, there are subtle differences between quanti and quali. Number one, quantitative research is based on deductive reasoning. Quantitative research is based on deductive reasoning. Apa maksud? What is the meaning of deductive reasoning? In deductive reasoning, we start with theory. First we need to have a theory, and then we go out, collect the data, and analyze the data, and from the data analysis or findings, we will determine whether the evidence or the data support or reject the theory. So that is called quantitative research. Okay, quantitative research is related to deductive reasoning. So kalau nak buat research berbentuk quantitative, kita perlu ada teori dulu. Okay, perlu ada teori, kita develop teori, kita kumpul data, kita collect data, dan kita buat data analisis, dan kita dapat finding, right? Dan daripada finding itu kita akan tentukan sama ada finding kita itu ataupun bukti empirik kita itu menyokong ataupun reject, ya, menolak teori dan hipotesis. Jadi itu quanti. Kalau quali, the qualitative research use the inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning is the opposite of deductive. It starts with data first. Okay, it starts with data. The researcher goes out and collect the data without having any theory or hypothesis. So the researcher will go out, collect the data, and the data is usually in the qualitative form, meaning in words, in pictures, in videos, without any numbers. So analyze the data, and then from the data, the researcher will come up with his or her hypothesis and theory. Jadi kualitatif data ini adalah menggunakan konsep inductive reasoning. Okay, inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning ini bermaksud pengkaji itu tidak mempunyai teori atau hipotesis. Pengkaji itu bermula dengan mencari data. Misalnya dia pergi ke Cameron Highland untuk mengkaji tentang aspek kehidupan orang asli di Cameron Highland. Dia selalunya memakan masa untuk mengkaji, dan data yang dikumpul dalam bentuk kuali, sama ada dalam bentuk perkataan ataupun gambar ataupun video ataupun sketches, ya, dia sendiri membuat catatan, dan dia menganalisa data, dan hasil daripada data dia akan dapat dapatan. Jadi dia adalah the reverse of deductive reasoning. Cara mudahnya kalau nak buat kuali ni, tak payah ada framework dulu, cari data dulu. Cari data, kemudian analisa data tu, dan last kali dia dapat come up dengan dia punya teori dan hipotesis. Jadi kita nak pilih yang macam mana? Nak pilih kuali atau nak pilih kuanti? So bergantung kepada apa yang ingin kita capai. Bergantung kepada objektif yang ingin kita capai. Dalam kajian atau tesis PhD sekarang ni, trendnya ialah menggabungkan kuanti dan kuali. Sebab kuanti ada dia punya kekangan yang boleh disupport atau dikomplement dengan kuali. Jadi itu trend sekarang lah. Nanti kita akan bincang lah kekangan atau the constraints of quantitative research. Sebab quantitative research kadang-kadang antara constraint-nya ialah variable yang dipilih itu adalah terhad. Mungkin banyak lagi variable yang tidak dimasukkan dalam framework yang perlu dikomplement oleh approach yang berbentuk kualitatif. Boleh tak Encik Abdul Hadi? Kau saya tak jawab soalan.
Dia dah menjawab. Cuma satu lagi doktor, just to ask the questions. You mentioned about the collecting data tadi kan?
Ya, ya.
Is it a part of the literature review yang proses? Macam mana?
Okay, good question and difficult question. Depends on the depends on the type of research. Okay. Sorry,
Get low.
I got flu.
Yeah, hopefully only light flu. Yeah.
If you're doing quantitative research, kalau buat if you're doing quantitative research, what you do is the literature review is used to develop the theoretical framework of the study. Jadi kalau buat kajian berbentuk kuantitatif, kajian literature itu digunakan untuk banyak tujuan. Antaranya ialah untuk develop the theoretical framework of the study, right? So bila kita dapat construct atau develop the theoretical framework of the study, we will design the instruments to collect the data. We collect the data, analyze the data, and then we got the findings. Okay. Once we got the findings, then we compare our findings with the literature review. For example, whether our findings is in agreement or in conformity with the previous findings, or whether our findings contradict the previous findings. That is if you do quantitative research. If you do qualitative research, it becomes more complicated. For example, qualitative research involving documentations. Some people call it library research, right? There are some qualitative research that employs library research. Some of them call documentation, which involves collecting collecting data from the previous studies. So documentation including newspapers, magazines, journal articles, and others. Those are called documentations. What else? Annual report, websites, those are called documentation. Right. What happens? What happens if the data involves documentation? Some of them will be in literature review, right? Some of them will be in the data analysis and findings. Okay. It may, so your chapter on literature review and your chapter on data analysis and findings might contain the same documents. Betul tak? Okay. No problem. However, we have to learn, we have to know how to write literature review based on the journals that you choose and how to analyze the same journals. So material yang sama ya, jurnal yang sama, maybe you find like 40 journals, you include in the literature review as part of literature review, and the same journals you analyze, because some people they use documentation, including the journal articles, as the data. So in qualitative research, journals can be used as the data. So how we analyze data of journals? How do we analyze the data provided by the journals? It will be covered in the later topic, but there is a fine line. Okay, how to do literature review and how to analyze the data using the journals. So nanti kita akan discuss kemudian lah teknik untuk menulis literature review guna journals, right? Dan teknik untuk menganalisa data juga guna journals. Okay, so that is more complicated. Ada orang confused. Ini nak tulis literature review, lepas tu data analysis nak tulis macam mana pula? Nanti kita akan belajarlah, insya-Allah.
Satu lagi doktor yang saya confuse dari segi coverage. Katakan research untuk master dan PhD ni, how far the coverage? Is it dari segi coverage macam mana?
Oh, bagus. Dia kita secara umumnya PhD is a comprehensive study. We want to be as comprehensive as possible. For example, kalau kita buat literature review, the literature review will be exhaustive and comprehensive. Maksudnya kita cover hampir ke semua lah kajian yang dibuat pada masa lepas. Untuk PhD juga dari segi method, kalau kuantitatif, the theoretical framework must be holistic. In the sense that it covers significant variables, and it fulfills the rule of parsimony. Kalau kita buat PhD menggunakan kuantitatif dalam bahagian kerangka teori itu, kita mesti memasukkan hampir ke semua secara komprehensif, boleh ubah yang relevan. Macam mana kita nak tahu saya ni dah masukkan cukup ke? Boleh ubah yang relevan. Macam mana nak tahu? Dia ada test lah, dia panggil the goodness of fit test, to test whether our model is good or not. Goodness of fit. Among the goodness of fit, dia adalah dia punya statistics criteria. Paling common sekali ialah adjusted R-square. Kalau adjusted R-square tu tinggi, for example more than 50%, we can say that the model is good. Okay, kalau adjusted R-square is very low, we can say that the model does not include enough or sufficient variables in the framework. Meaning the variables included in the framework explain only a small portion of the variations in the dependent variable in what we want to study. Maksud model kita tak baguslah kalau adjusted R-square tu rendah. For example, kalau adjusted R-square tu 30%, bermaksudnya 30% daripada perubahan yang berlaku dalam dependent variable yang kita pilih itu, hanya 30% saja perubahan itu dapat diterangkan oleh pembeli ubah yang kita masukkan dalam kerangka teori. Maksudnya 70% lagi we don't know. Only 30% of the variations can be explained. So which is quite low. Okay. Apa tu soalan ni? Sorry, saya lupa dah. Soalan Cik Abdul Hadi tadi.
Tentang coverage saja, basically.
Oh, okay. Apa beza? Okay. Apa beza PhD dengan master? So basically PhD dia lebih komprehensif. Macam saya kata tadi lah, kalau dia punya literature review sendiri pun memakan masa dan berterusan, dan dia kena cover the most recent, the most relevant literature in the topic. Nanti examiner akan komen kalau ada literature yang relevan atau terkini yang tidak dimasukkan. Kalau master, dia just orang baru belajar research, kita tak expect for example literature review dia to be comprehensive, to be recent, asalkan dia tulis literature review dan kita rasa memadai, kira okey. Tetapi in reality setengah examiner, setengah professor dia confused. Jadi dia confused, dia treat master dengan PhD itu sebab dia subjektif kan. Expectation dia berbeza. Kalau orang ni kata, ni dah cukup dah untuk master. Profesor ni kata, tak cukup lagi. Jadi dia ada dispute because it involves subjectivity. The word is comprehensive kan. Literature review is comprehensive untuk PhD and less comprehensive untuk master. Begitu juga kalau buat kalau theoretical framework for example, kalau PhD dia kena jadi holistic ya. Holistic maksud dia cover the variables included in the framework are significant, justified, and it is enough. It is enough. Macam saya kata tadi, kita ada test lah untuk tengok the goodness of the model. Kalau master, kita tak expect dia punya model to be comprehensive. It's less comprehensive. And selalunya variable tu kurang lah berbanding dengan PhD. Tapi still dia involves subjectivity. Kemudian the most important difference between PhD and master ini adalah PhD involves novelty. The keyword is novelty. N-O-V-E-L-T-Y, novelty. Apa maksud novelty? Novelty ni ialah when PhD students do the research, dia ada satu benda baru, novel. Satu benda baru, satu benda yang original, walaupun sedikit yang dia contribute. Okay? PhD students must contribute to the novelty of the research. Means the research is original and new. Ada characteristics of novelty. Apa maksud original? Original bukan bermaksud semua tesis itu dia buat dia punya, tidak. Original juga bermaksud kajian yang dibuat itu mengambil kira kajian-kajian lepas, tetapi diolah, disusun menjadi sesuatu yang baharu. Sebagai contoh, kalau kita nak buat rumah yang macam novel, rumah yang novel yang baru, kita akan melihat plan rumah yang dibuat oleh orang lain. Oh, ini buat plan gini 2 tingkat, ini 3 tingkat, ini 4 tingkat, ini setingkat. Dan kita nak buat sesuatu yang baru. Rumah 2,5 tingkat, contohlah. Satu benda baru. Ada orang buat setingkat, 2 tingkat, 1,5 tingkat, 3 tingkat, 4 tingkat dan seterusnya. Kita nak buat rumah 2,5 tingkat. So, rumah 2,5 tingkat itu ada elemen novelty. Tapi nak buat rumah 2,5 tingkat itu, kita juga merujuk kepada plan-plan rumah yang lain-lain. Jadi bila kita nak buat sesuatu yang novelty, bukan maksud kita start from zero. Kita akan melihat kajian-kajian lepas, kita akan melihat tesis-tesis lepas, kita akan melihat artikel-artikel lepas, previous journals, previous research, previous thesis, and then we kind of modify, we modify. So that our thesis, in the end, when it is done, it is novel. It is different than the previous thesis. Itu maksud novel. Ya, macam nak buat model kereta juga, kita nak cipta model baru. Kita tentu kena melihat model-model yang lain supaya kita nak compare yang kita nak buat ni sama atau tidak. Kita melihat model kereta yang lain, hasil pada itu kita akan create something which is novel atau different. Untuk master tidak perlu ada
Professor,
novel.
like we can say simply, sorry for the interruption.
Go ahead.
Like, can we say the word novelty is simply the newness? I mean,
Yes.
something which is.
Yes, exactly.
Can we say that, right? Okay.
Novelty involves
All right, okay.
2 characteristics. One is originality, and number 2, newness.
Newness.
Yes, you are right. It involves 2 characteristics: originality and newness. You are right. You know, Mr. Said, for example, you want to create or develop a new model, a new car model, right? A new car model. So in order to produce a new model, you have to look at the previous model, right? And see how others develop the model of the cars. So based on the previous models, you analyze and then you try to come up with a new model which is different from the previous model. So that is called the novelty. So it doesn't mean
got it.
It doesn't mean it comes from your. It all comes from you. It means you create something new based on what others have done.
Yeah, we can say, Professor, we can say like innovation. I mean, as something, a new way to do a job or new way to find out a solution, something innovation we can say, right? Isn't it? Because that is the main difference between the innovation and the invention. Yeah, correct.
Although it doesn't have to be any invention. It can be you come up with some new piece of evidence or new piece of knowledge.
Professor, yeah, no, what I'm saying is there is a difference between as I have studied under your supervision, the word invention and the innovation.
No, I see,
like,
I
it is, yeah.
Oh,
that's what I mean to
I
say.
see, you are right. So the better word is innovation. I think the better word is innovation.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yes, you are 100% correct. The better word is innovation. Means that from what we have, okay, then we try to create something new. It's starting from what we have. It doesn't start from zero. It starts from what we have. Yeah, you are 100% correct.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.
So in Indonesia, we in Indonesia we call it ATM. You know ATM, automatic telling machine. ATM is actually, if imagine, you know, it's a kind like, you know, machine money, you know, automatic teller machine. It is
yeah, the cash giving machine,
so in Indonesia we call it amati maybe in Malaysia same, yeah, observe, and then tiru is you know, what's that I said in here, you know, my chat, duplicate, right? Yeah, duplicate, and then modify.
Yes.
Yeah, so novelty is something like that, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, observe, search, and duplicate.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, correct.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Ibu Tuti, you are 100% correct.
Thank you.
Now I get your name correct.
Professor, this time you took the right name, yeah?
For me, Iradat, you know.
I'm sorry, I'm just
no problem,
a bit like mixing the colors in the lectures.
Thank you. Yeah. So this you know, it's a pillar of innovation. The theory of innovation is actually observe, duplicate, and modify. So that's the basic rule.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Prof, can we use, you know, we are doing research, right? Can we use the audience of any Zoom meeting, you know, I mean, even the school, everything, to get the opinion, what is our to get the answer of our question in the research? You know, for example, I'm doing a ethic, and then I ask the audience here, so what do you think about ethic application, you know, application in the company, in the corporate? So they can probably, you know, give answer. So this is help us, you know, to shortage, you know, the population or the sample. Can we?
Good
Professor,
question.
like, can I say something?
Sure.
If you allow me, please?
Sure.
Yeah. Like, what I have perceived about invention or the innovation, like during my research under under the supervision of Professor Yusuf, when Wright brothers come up with a flying machine, which we call an aircraft or airplane. So that was an invention, because that is for the first time someone invented a machine which could fly. So that is invention. Later on, any flying machine that, like, either it is an Airbus or a Boeing or a jet or like any sort of like big aircraft, small aircraft carrier, these are all innovations. Invention was that thing when Wright brothers came up with the flying machine. For the first time, they flew in the sky. The machine he invented that flew in the sky, that was the invention. And later on, all the modifications, improvement, right, upgradation, these are all innovation. Am I correct, Professor?
Yes, 100%, 200% correct, Mr.
You like
Sairada.
that?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Just wanted to like your opinion. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. So when we do research, uh, um, it's more like innovation. It's better to be innovation, meaning we base our research on what has been done before, and we might use a different method, right? That is called novelty also. We might come up with a different method, or we might come up with a different theoretical framework. We might come up with a different way of analyzing data, and of course, we will have a different findings. So you are right, Mr. Said. In my opinion, research should be more like innovation.
Yeah.
Dr. Yusof,
Yes, Encik Masri, go ahead.
I have a question. Regards to the contribution, innovation, and novelty just now. Assume that we have a variable that which is already been forgotten.
Okay.
A variable which is previously or traditionally it is talked about or it is research, but suddenly it become forgotten.
Okay.
And then in our research, we try to some sort of reintroduce.
Okay.
And we say that it is should be emphasized on in current practice, something like that, you know.
Okay.
So can we consider this to be as novelty as well in our PhD research?
Yeah, good question. Good question.
Yes, good question. Can you give any example of such variable, if any?
Well, one of for example, this is merely a example.
Yeah.
For example, like one of my research guru, he said that nobody do research using price as a independent variable.
Okay.
Nobody do that because it's commonly known, you know. So in let's say that in most current marketing research, they don't include that.
Okay.
So we come up with a research. Okay, we come up with new research, and when people already neglect the variable, and then we produce a research suggesting that it is something that you should not neglect. Or maybe the price is a very bad example, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, like
for example, like,
I mean, like
yeah.
we can say like it is something revival, like when you have some old idea and that is obsolete, and you come then you realize that that idea should be implemented. That is some sort of revival. I'm not sure if we can call it a research or not. The Professor Yusuf can emphasize or can give his remarks on it.
Yes, I think the answer is yes and no. Yes, if like we mentioned before, if the old variable that's been forgotten is reintroduced, and there is some type of innovation there. Let me give you an example. For example, religiosity, right? The variable religiosity that has been used in many research, including research related to Islamic finance. Okay, what's the problem? Religiosity is actually some old concept, right? It's an old concept. And at one time it was forgotten, right? And usually, if you look at the instruments of religiosity, it is measured from perspective of Western and Christianity view. For example, in the West, someone is religious if he goes to church. Okay, someone is religious if he regularly goes to Sunday church sermons, if he regularly donates to the church, if he is a member of the church or the singing choir, something like that. So religiosity is how many times they go to church, right? How much money they contribute to the church, whether they are part of the church committee or not, and other instruments. So in many studies, religiosity in Islam is how many times you go to mosque, how much money you donate to masjid. Are you part of the masjid committee? Something like that. We modify the religiosity from the Western perspective. Now, how to be a novel, like Mr. Masri mentioned. I think it can be noble if we invent the meaning of religiosity. For example, we look at religiosity from Islamic perspective. What is religiosity from Islamic perspective? Okay.
Yeah, correct.
From Islamic perspective, religiosity is measured in terms of the aqidah, ibadah, and akhlaq, the three aspects, right? Aqidah, ibadah, and akhlaq. And we can develop new instruments to measure religiosity. And I think that should be novel. Meaning we take the old variables and we try to improve, or, like Mr. said before, to innovate, means we try to make it something new. Ibu Tuti, I think
Yes.
I wanted to answer your question, but I forgot your question. What was your question? Sorry. Before Mrs. Said was saying,
yeah,
you were asking one question. Can you repeat?
Yeah, okay. Can we optimize the session of any Zoom meeting or class meeting to use our friends here to become our sample audience for our research?
You mean respondents?
Yeah, yes, responded. So this is maybe help us, to, maximize the, opportunity.
Good question. Ideally, the respondents must be able to supply information that you need.
Yeah.
Ideally. So the respondents that you choose must be able to supply the data or give information that the researchers need.
Right.
If you choose the right respondents, you will get the right information.
Yeah.
If you ask the wrong respondents, you will get the wrong information. So we will study later on how to choose the population and something. I'll give you an example.
Yeah,
one major mistake that was done by a master's student. Okay, he wanted to know the effectiveness of masjid fund, right? The effectiveness of the utilization of masjid fund, whether the fund collected by masjid is being utilized and how it helps the people around in the neighborhood of the masjid. And then the respondent that he chose was the jama'ah, those who perform the salat in the masjid.
Mm.
He just waited in front of the masjid and distribute the questionnaire to the jama'ah, those who wants to perform the salat. Right.
Yeah.
Some of the
Right,
questions
yeah.
are regarding how the masjid fund is being utilized. Some of the respondents, they don't know. They just stick, you know. So the findings of the study becomes very weird. So the right respondent in that case must be either the bursary of the masjid or the committee members of the masjid who have the knowledge about how the masjid fund is distributed or being used. If you ask Jama'ah, you know, who just go and perform, the Jama'ah will provide, you know, the wrong information.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so if you want to choose, we will discuss who should be the respondents. The respondents must be the ones who can provide the information that you need in order to achieve your objective. So try to
Yeah,
avoid
very
giving.
good example, Professor.
Yeah.
Mashallah, very good example.
So that's a consideration. We will discuss whether it is suitable or not for our class. It depends on your topic. Okay, if the
Yeah.
topic is suitable and we, for example, are among the sample selected, and we can give the relevant information that you need, then it's all right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's a criteria to choose respondents. We will elaborate more in later class. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Most welcome.
Thank you, Professor.
Most welcome. So shall we continue, or
Yeah,
can we take like 5 minutes break?
no
or
problem. For
10 minutes
drinking.
break?
Yeah, no problem. Professor, how long is this class like?
It's 3 hours, Mr. Said.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right, sure.
Then we need a break. We need a break.
Yeah, we will finish
Okay.
at 12:30, inshallah.
All right.
Yeah.
Inshallah, inshallah.
Anyone can take picture from us,
Yes.
so we can, we can see, and share it
In
to
the
our
meantime,
group.
yes.
Yeah,
I
probably. So we
will
can.
leave for a while.
Yeah.
10 minutes. I
Mhm,
want to
no
drink
problem.
some coffee. I'm getting sleepy.
Okay, please enjoy your coffee and
I know.
snack.
Ask me, it was quite early when I woke up, so I must be more sleepy then.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
thank
Okay.
you, Professor.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
So keep like this, yeah. We'll come back again. Not necessary to be, off, right?
Professor, she's asked. Okay.
Assalamualaikum. We are back. Okay, before we continue, I would like to.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back.
I would like to let you know that we have a Google Classroom GC, and then I will I will attach all the materials, not only through WhatsApp but also through Google Classroom. Yeah. So you can try to find our GC, Google Classroom, under the name MFQ 8113.
Okay.
So all the lecture notes, textbook, syllabus, assignments will be posted in the GC as well as in this WhatsApp group. Okay. Kita sambung,
Yep.
Next one is explanation. Okay, let me recall. The first one is exploration. Second one is description. The third one is explanation. Explanation, the explanatory research involves explaining the cause and effects, correlations, or why things are the way they are. So, in the explanatory research, we have dependent variable and independent variables. Independent variables are the cause, and dependent variable is the effect. A causes B, or B, A causes B, or A causes B only under certain circumstances. Jadi dalam kajian yang berbentuk explanatory, kita mengkaji tentang sebab dan akibat, korelasi. Jadi kita ada pemboleh ubah yang menjadi causes atau penyebab, dan selalunya kita ada satu pemboleh ubah yang dipanggil effect. Bahasa yang kita guna ialah independent variables and dependent variables. Itu dipanggil explanatory research. Kadang kita panggil causal research. So ini yang banyak dilakukan oleh pelajar PhD lah. Ada theoretical framework, di situ ada variables, right? Ada explanatory variables or independent variables, and then sometimes we have mediating variables, and sometimes we have moderating variables, and of course we must have dependent variables. So kita mengkaji korelasi antara variables, korelasi antara A dan B. A mempengaruhi B secara positif, atau A mempengaruhi B secara negatif. So cause and effect. Jadi dia menunjukkan hubungan antara pemboleh ubah. So explanatory research involves the cause and effect, sebab-sebab atau faktor-faktor yang menyebabkan sesuatu itu berlaku. So explanatory research is useful when we want to explain why things are the way they are. kenapa sesuatu itu berlaku. Okey. Kemudian yang terakhir adalah community change or action research. Action research melibatkan perubahan dalam community. When relevant stakeholders have identified the need for community change or action, we may conduct research with the aim of prompting such community change, social change or community intervention. Yang ini juga ada satu jenis research yang bertujuan untuk membawa perubahan dalam sesuatu masyarakat. For instance, if a community is undergoing rapid development and some stakeholders in the community are being excluded from the development process, we may develop a research project with the aim of intervening in that process. Yang ni jarang lah kita buat. PhD student pun jarang buat lah. Yang ni saya cuma I just try to explain that there exists this kind of research. So action research bertujuan untuk melakukan sesuatu kajian untuk membawa perubahan dalam sesuatu komuniti. Jadi tujuannya adalah untuk membawa atau develop satu dasar atau polisi yang baru dengan tujuan untuk membawa satu perubahan. Dan apakah action atau tindakan yang perlu dilakukan untuk membawa kepada perubahan itu. Okay. I just mentioned it. Although I've never come across any PhD students doing the community change or action. This is usually done involving the collaboration between researchers and community leaders. Okay. We go to types of research. There are two types of research, pure research and applied research. Pure research is usually used to develop new knowledge that advances our understanding of the real world. Okay. Pure research ini kita bermula dengan apa yang kita tahu, kemudian kita akan cuba develop sesuatu pengetahuan yang baru untuk kita memahami dunia yang sebenar dan untuk kita memahami sesuatu yang belum kita kaji. My professor said, we want to go to where no one has gone before. Kita ingin mengkaji sesuatu yang orang lain belum kaji. So that is called pure research. To widen the boundary of knowledge. Ya, untuk meluaskan pengetahuan yang kita ada. Caranya ialah kita akan mengkaji apa yang telah dikaji sebelum ini. Okay. Dan kita mungkin boleh improve our knowledge, increase our knowledge by getting new information using improved theoretical framework and maybe using a new and improved method of doing the research. That is that is pure research. So pure research evaluate concepts and theories and thus attempts to expand the limits of existing knowledge. It may also help in rejecting or supporting existing theories about the real world. Jadi pure research ni dia datang untuk sama ada support, okay? Itu kita selalu buat support the hypothesis, to support or to reject the current hypothesis of current theory. Jadi tujuannya hanyalah untuk Kita kata increase the boundary of knowledge. Yang kedua, applied research, dia ada berbeza. Applied research is conducted when a decision must be made about a specific real world problem or real life problem. Kajian gunaan, dia mesti bermula dengan real world problem. Mesti ada suatu masalah. Okay, mesti ada masalah baru boleh buat kajian. Dan mencari jalan bagaimana untuk mencari penyelesaian kepada masalah yang berlaku. Okay, contoh applied research, masalahnya sekarang ni ada masalah COVID, contoh masalah COVID. That is real life problem. Okay. Kemudian kajian dilakukan untuk mencari jalan, misalnya bagaimana untuk menyelesaikan masalah yang timbul semasa COVID. Contoh real life problem sekarang ni apa? The increase in unemployment rate, contoh. Jadi kita akan mencari jalan bagaimana untuk create new jobs, for example. So that is called applied research. Kita kena identify the real life problem and then try to find solutions to the problem. So the objective of the research conducting applied research is to improve human conditions, although the results can have commercial values. Okay, macam masalah COVID-19 itu hari, kita perlu vaksin, right? Perlu vaksin. So kajian dilakukan, okay, untuk develop a vaccine oleh various agencies, dan hasil itu mempunyai commercial value. Pfizer dengan BioNTech bekerjasama untuk mengeluarkan vaksin yang dipanggil Community, branded as Community, dan hasil itu ada nilai komersial yang tinggi lah. Nilai saham BioNTech sekarang adalah $70 billion. So dia ada commercial value in terms of meningkatkan nilai sesuatu syarikat itulah. Ada researcher yang develop certain products, buat sistem yang di-commercializekan. So that is applied research. It's so sometimes ada kita konflik antara pure research dengan applied research. Pure research tidak memerlukan real world problem. Pure research hanya memerlukan what is known, what is not known, what is research gap. Apa yang kita dah ketahui, apa yang belum ketahui, apa research gap, apa yang akan kita kaji. Itu pure research. Saya bagi contoh. Okay. Katalah kutipan zakat di negeri Kedah semakin meningkat. Jadi terdapat kajian-kajian yang lepas yang menunjukkan bahawa terdapat peningkatan, dan data juga menyokong, support bahawa terdapat peningkatan dalam kutipan zakat. Okay. Jadi dalam pure research, kita akan mengkaji apakah faktor-faktor yang menyumbang kepada peningkatan dalam kutipan zakat. The idea is to have an understanding, untuk dapat kefahaman tentang faktor-faktor yang menyebabkan kutipan zakat semakin meningkat. Apakah faktor-faktornya? Apakah yang menyebabkan kutipan zakat semakin meningkat? Jadi kita laksanakan pure research. Applied research pula Dia kata, kalau kutipan zakat sudah meningkat, itu bukan masalah. Tak perlu buat research. So, nampak perbezaan antara pure research and applied research. Mr. Syahirada.
Yes, Professor, I'm listening to you, please.
Okay, let me try to explain the basic difference between pure research and applied research, right? Pure research is used to develop new theories, meaning to increase our boundary of knowledge, to expand the limits of the existing knowledge, and it doesn't require any real-world problem.
That's right.
Applied research, on the other hand, involves the real-world problem and trying to find solutions to the problem. And sometimes it has some commercial value. Let me give you an example.
Yes,
Currently, the data and previous studies have shown that the zakat collection in the state of Kedah is on the rise. It's on the increasing trend, right? Which is good. So pure research tries to study what are the factors that contribute to the rise in the collection of zakat.
Okay.
So that we can understand better about the behavior of the Muslims in the payment of zakat. Why now they increase compared to before?
Yeah.
For example, why there is an increase in collection of zakat after 2016 compared to before 2016? So that is pure research. Applied research will say, applied researcher will say, hey, there is a rise, there is an increase in the zakat collection. So why you want to do the research? There's no problem there. You see the difference, right?
Yeah, I understand.
So applied research must involve a specific real life problem. Then they do the research. Okay. On the other hand, pure research doesn't need any problem. Problem, according to pure research, is something that needs to be researched. Problem, according to pure research, is something unknown, something that is beyond our boundary of knowledge that requires us to study, right? To fill the gap or to increase the boundary of knowledge. On the other hand, applied research must start with a specific real life problem. So those in the madhab of applied research will say, you cannot do research if you don't have a problem, because problem, according to applied research, is a real world or real life problem. Problem, according to pure research, is something unknown which needs to be studied or researched in order to increase our understanding, in order to expand the boundary of knowledge. So that's the difference between the two. Boleh tanya? Any question?
Yeah. Prof, excuse me. It's look like.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's look like applied research consider for the quantitative, yeah, because this is, you said in here, applied research is to improve human condition, meaning that you have to know before and after, so that it can be, I'm sure, yeah, what's the improvement.
Applied research,
for the, yes, that's applied research. Applied research, to my opinion,
can be quantitative.
Yeah,
can be qualitative.
Is it?
It can be both.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I
It
didn't
can,
see. I didn't see quali.
it can involve quantitative research and it can involve qualitative research also. The most
Okay.
important is you must have the real world problem, right?
Yeah.
And try to find solutions. For example,
Right.
you want to find solutions on how to increase the employment or
Yeah.
how to create jobs during this pandemic. And you want to use qualitative research, right?
Okay.
So your your respondents might be some experts, some economic experts, financial experts, Islamic finance expert opinions, right, on how to create
New
jobs.
job.
So that is called the qualitative research. You can also do some quantitative research. For example, you can develop questionnaires, right?
Survey.
Develop questionnaires and you can choose respondents. For example, your respondents are economic lecturers, finance lecturers, Islamic finance lecturers, and you develop questionnaires, okay, asking them certain questions on how to create jobs, right? For example, then you can analyze quantitatively, okay? So it can be quali, it can be quanti. The same as pure research. It can be quanti, it can be quali.
Yeah.
So the main difference between the two, just like I said before, applied research involves real world problem. Pure
Dr.
research, yes, go ahead.
From my understanding, between pure and applied research, so most of this pure research is done in university by the lecturer. Simply they want to publish paper, they come up with a hypothetical problem,
Right.
and research and they present in conference.
Right.
But research normally done in organization. We have like even the government or private company when they suffer from a real problem.
Right.
So they contribute money to do the research. For the outcome of the research later on will impact their policy and their action. The finding of the research will be taken into step how to solve the problem.
Right.
So for pure research on the outcome research only stop at the conference, something like that.
Oh, okay. Is it cannot be applied? I mean, can be published and everybody believe that it is the solution.
I find that there are some researchers from the management who conduct research using applied research. So there are also lecturers, especially in the field of management and some other field. But I've come across some researchers from among the management lecturers who prefer to do applied research. Means they come up with problems in the field of management. For example, they come up with the problem of the decrease in demand for certain products, right?
Okay.
Or how to, like Cik Masih said, how to, for example, market the product, right? And they come up with the research, and like Cik Masih said, the outcome of the research can solve the problems. And of course, it's true that there are companies who are willing to allocate certain budgets for lecturers or for some researchers to conduct research to solve their problems. Okay, for example, takaful companies, they want to do a research on how to market the takaful products, right? So the problem is how to market the takaful products. So they allocate some money for the researcher to conduct some type of applied research. Yeah. And pure research, okay, is usually, like we said, to advance the understanding of the real world, right? Yeah, it is usually presented in seminars, right? Among lecturers, and usually it doesn't have any commercial values, right? There is no products to be sold. So because the objective is to increase the understanding. But pure research is significant in terms of the findings of the research can help practitioners and policymakers to plan, strategize suitable, to plan, strategize and implement certain measures and certain policies that could be used to improve the conditions of the community or the conditions of the country. For example, pure research on zakat, for example, right? To study the factors that contribute to the increase in the collection of zakat. So that is pure research. So the findings is presented in seminars, in journals, and some of the findings could be used by zakat institutions and other policymakers to come up or to plan and implement policies in the future to increase further the collection of zakat. So both have contributions, either contributions to theory and also contributions to policy. Yeah, that's why in your thesis, right, you have to write contributions to theory and contributions to policy. But I would like to add that there are some PhD theses who combine both pure and applied research. To me, there is nothing wrong with combining the pure and applied research. It can be combined. All right.
Especially Dr. Yusof, right?
Yes.
Some theses are applied research because got sponsor from this particular organization.
Oh,
right.
okay.
This company or organization wanted this PhD thesis to suggest
Yes.
what we call action or strategy on their business or their
Yes. And they fall under the applied research. Yes. I have one friend who studied a PhD in Australia in the field of IT, and one company sponsored her studies, right, to come up with a system with the IT system. At the end of the study, okay, the system was marketed and has some values. Yeah, that's right. There are some organizations who sponsors students, especially PhD students, to conduct some type of applied research, and later on it has some commercial values. There was also a PhD student doing PhD in pharmacy, for example, and there was a company who sponsored him to pursue PhD to come up with ways to, how to say, ways to make what you call tablet, pharmacy, the tablet for ikan haruan, the tablet for ikan haruan, the tablet for the tablet from the tablet from apa nama I forgot.
Arowana, okay, is it?
Yang kat Langkawi itu apa?
Oh, gamat. The gamat,
Gamat.
Sea cucumber.
Yeah, cucumber. Sea cucumber.
Yeah.
So the thesis in the field of pharmacy regarding on how to make the tablet out of sea cucumber and also ikan haruan, some type of fish, right? And so the problem was before that ikan haruan and sea cucumber was taken in liquid form, right? In liquid form, and some people did not like the liquid form, so they want the tablet form. So a study was made, and then it has some commercial values, and the tablet was marketed after the research was done. Okay.
Okay.
Any other comments? Very good comments. I'm learning something new, and I will include in my textbook also later on. I will improve this textbook. Okay. Then
Do you produce excuse me?
Sure. Go
do
ahead.
You produce the books about research so then I mean the student can also get it,
Yes.
buy or whatever?
Yes, this book inshallah will be produced once I finish auditing. The one I post is the unfinished product, and I will try to improve as soon as possible, and I will apply for ISBN with ISBN numbers, and I will sell to you. You have to pay me.
No worries.
No, I think I will give to you free. Okay.
I will also give you mine.
So actually the book is supposed to be finished, but because of my tight schedule, I've not been able to, to put the finishing touch. So it's almost ready, but I need to edit and proofread and add a few things and make some corrections. Inshallah, it will be ready, and I will give it to you for free. Okay. So the 5 approaches to research: number 1, quantitative research; number 2, qualitative research; number 3, mixed method research, MMR; number 4, art-based research; number 5, community-based participatory research, CBPR. Let's look at one by one. So quantitative research is an approach for testing objective theories. Objective means theories which can be quantified, which can be measured by examining the relationship among variables. So in quantitative research, usually we have a theoretical framework. These variables in turn can be measured, boleh diukur, typically on instruments, okay, such as questionnaire, so that numbered data can be analyzed using statistical procedures. So when we talk about quantitative research, we are talking about quantitative data, which can be analyzed using some statistical procedures. We can use some statistical package like SPSS, MOS, SAM, PLS SAM, and other statistical package. And we will, if time permits, we will cover some of them. Encik Masri will cover SPSS, okay, and Dr. Sofyan will cover MOSAM, insyaAllah. Dr. Sofyan, are you here?
Boleh. Okay.
So we'll try to do like a workshop on these statistical procedures.
Good, very good. The one that I hate actually.
That will be great, inshallah.
The one that I hate when I was in master. Very complicated.
Yeah, some people prefer quantitative, some people prefer qualitative.
So, yeah, you know,
depending
right.
on the background, right?
The process of the research itself, actually quantitative is very, very, I mean, it's very interesting, yeah. But the problem on the report, the reporting, you know, too complicated using table, variable, and then statistical, and then graphical, analyzing. That's, you know, the problem. So that's why I said, I hate quantitative. Masri, I asked, you know, you please look at on chat. I asked you, because your name is not in the group, so why don't you join so that we can learn and study from you?
Yeah, we should ask Mr. Masri to conduct workshop for us.
That's true. That's why, you know,
Okay.
I asked, you know, on the chatting, can I have your contact?
I actually in the group as well.
No, there is no name Masri, you know. Look at your phone.
I'll join the group soon.
No wonder there is no name there.
I invited Encik Masri last night, so he's in the group.
Oh, yeah, that's why I think I'm in the group as well. If
No.
you are referring to the class group, right? If you're referring,
yes.
Yeah, you know, at the MFQ 811.3, there is no Masri.
it's okay.
You
Madam,
put name. You have to put your name.
Use myself later on in the group.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I just joined in last night. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Inshallah, we will conduct workshops on these statistical procedures.
Yeah.
Prof, nak tanya boleh, Prof?
Boleh, tanya banyak tak apa, Rita.
Kalau if we use SPSS AMOS or we use PLSM, we involve with the confirmatory analysis, right? Confirmatory of the theoretical. So our research it belong to quantitative, but when we refer to 4 area tu kan, dia feel dekat area mana? Descriptive ke? Macam mana? Dia explanation ke ataupun description?
Explanation itu.
Itulah. Okay. Betul lah, nampak macam dia macam kena dekat explanation lagi lah kan?
Ya.
Sebab dia cause and effect tu kan?
Yes, betul. Tepat.
Okay.
Kalau description, dia tidak ada independent variable. Kalau quantitative descriptive research, dia present dalam bentuk table je. Contohnya frequency, numbers. So ada orang boleh buat descriptive even pada tahap PhD, tapi memang saya tak mampu lah. Dia kena pandai banyak macam mana, banyak the explanation has to be rich. Penerangan dia tu mesti banyak. Data sikit tapi dia boleh menerangkan dengan banyak. Ada orang mempunyai kemampuan macam tu.
Macam qualitative dia punya tu approach untuk description tu macam quali dia punya approach tu.
Ulang balik tak clear.
Prof, description tu kan dia data dia ada sikit tapi banyak explanation tu dia punya nature tu macam kualitatif nature dia tu.
Betul. Tapi dia boleh juga jadi combine dengan deskriptif. Contoh macam kawan saya buat PhD di UK on the income inequality among Malays. So dia adalah sikit data tentang income inequality di kalangan orang Melayu. Saya tengok tesis dia present dalam bentuk table, tapi dia punya explanation tu sangat rich dan banyak juga yang subjektif ataupun kualitatif. Dia cerita ketidakseimbangan pendapatan di kalangan orang Melayu, dia bagi data. Tapi dia kaitkan dengan politik, dia analyse kok tu kok ni. Kenapa orang Melayu ni jadi macam tu? Sebab dasar kerajaan, dasar privatisation yang mengkayakan sebilangan kecil dan menyebabkan majoriti orang Melayu itu miskin. Di penerangan dia tu, dia combine both kuanti dengan kuali. Jadi itu bentuk description.
Apa Prof Yusuf?
Ya.
Regards to yang the 4 level just now kan, the purpose of study tu kan, we have exploration, descriptive, and then we have causal, and later on we have apa yang action kan, the 4 level yang Dr. Sophia mentioned tu. I for my understanding, it's like dia macam satu level of study tau.
Right.
So the most basic of all study are starting with exploration.
Betul.
So when you start to explain more, yang asking why, who, where tu semua tu kan, dia akan move to the next level, it become descriptive.
Betul.
Kalau you add some more, that means you have hypothesis and you do data collection and you testing, dia akan jadi causal.
Betul.
And then from the outcome of the research, you take action, dia akan move to the next, the 4th level lah. Betul tak research? Dia macam, so we can say that the second one is more complex than the first one.
Betul.
Kan? And the most complex the 4th level tu lah kan.
Betul.
So we can, macam bila kita buat quantitative research just now, yang Dr. Saifai mentioned tu, that particular research can be categorized as causal. So in that particular research also dah ada descriptive and exploratory, right?
Betul.
That is what I understand.
Betul. Macam Dr. Sofian sebut tadi, kalau kita tengok deskriptif ni, dia kebanyakan melibatkan kuali lah. Because dia cuma ingin menerangkan tentang sesuatu individu atau kumpulan atau aktiviti atau peristiwa. So kita, kalau dia punya purpose untuk menerangkan tentang sesuatu event tanpa menerangkan sebab, tanpa menerangkan faktor-faktor, dia boleh stop dekat description lah. Sebagai contoh, tapi of course macam Cik Masri kata, dia boleh sambung lah. Tapi kalau dia nak stop dekat description, so dia jadi descriptive study. Saya bagi contoh, ada seorang pengkaji dari Jepun, a lady, dia buat PhD dalam bidang sosiologi. Dia ingin mengkaji kesan pendidikan terhadap the behavior of the people in the surrounding neighborhood. Jadi kajian kes dia ialah berkaitan dengan pendidikan Islam. Specifically pendidikan pondok atau pesantren.
Boarding school.
Jadi kajian dia berbentuk deskriptif. Jadi dia datang ke beberapa pondok di negeri Kedah dan dia spend some time, 2-3 bulan menemu bual, pergi ke surau, berpuasa dan bila orang sembahyang, dia ada di saf di belakang. This lady pergi ke pengajian pondok dan saya bertindak sebagai translator kepada dia. Ya, saya jadi translator. Okay.
And finally becoming Muslim.
Finally, she became a Muslim. Yeah.
Oh, alhamdulillah.
Yeah. So, kajian dia untuk melihat kesan pengajian or education, kesan Islamic education on the behavior of the people. Akhirnya dia menjadi Muslim Dan dia berkahwin dengan orang Islam juga daripada Jepun, yang mana saya antara orang yang menguruskan majlis perkahwinan itu. Jadi kajian dia saya lihat berbentuk deskriptif dan banyak menggunakan teknik-teknik atau data data kuali, ya. For example, dia bila mana berbual, dia akan merekodkan dalam bentuk short form lah. Kemudian dia akan ambil gambar orang semayang, dan dia sendiri berpuasa. Participatory research. Dia sendiri berpuasa untuk melihat kesan puasa itu ke atas behavior orang. Jadi dia bukan saja dia punya observation tu, jadi non-participant and participant observation. Ada kalanya dia non-participant, dia just mencatat saja. Ada kalanya dia sendiri participate dalam aktiviti itulah. So dia akhirnya dia memeluk Islam, dan kajian tu sangat baguslah, dan ada di UKM. Okey, jadi ada
Prof,
soalan
excuse me
lagi?
again. Yeah, excuse me.
Sure.
So in doing research can be several type of design. So I mean here is, for example, this lady, this is doing descriptive, but then qualitative, but then she's also doing participatory. Yes. So what I mean here, can we, in doing research, has several type of design?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It can have what we call a mixed method, where it combines several research designs. Even in qualitative research, we have triangulation, where we combine several qualitative designs. That one we will discuss later. But for now, yes, research can combine several methods or several designs.
Okay.
For example, even at the descriptive level, we can combine the quantitative as well as the qualitative.
Qualitative, yes, that's one mix. What I mean here is, for example, cause and then correlation, can be in one, design.
If you include correlation, it will fall under explanation.
Oh, I see, under explanation.
If there is a causal relationship, if you have independent variables dependent variables and correlation between two variables, that falls under explanation.
Yeah.
But if it involves only one, without any causes, then it is a description.
Okay, thank you.
And of course, like Mr. Masri said, some research, it is explanatory as well as descriptive. Yeah. First, it starts with a description. Right. And then the research continues to explain the correlation, for example. Then it becomes both descriptive and explanatory. It can be like that also. Okay, any further question? Mr. Sairadat, you are quiet now?
Sleepy, yeah.
I'm just listening to your valuable ideas. You are sharing informations. So yeah, I'm getting a lot of knowledge. It's good discussion. Everybody's involved. So I'm just enjoying it, learning a lot of things from you guys. Thank you.
If I make mistakes, please correct me, Mr. Iradat.
Yes, please.
Please correct me when I make mistakes.
I know you're not going to make any mistake, and I'm not able to correct you, but it's
Oh, I'm not maksum. I'm prone to making mistakes.
I know. I know you're ghair masoom. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm far from maksum. I'm
Correct.
still learning. I'm
Yeah.
still learning about research.
Yeah, please.
Very good technique to wake up someone.
Okay, I think we stop for now. It's 12, almost 12:30. Okay, I will make a recording and I will put up in Dr. Yusuf TV.
Is there
But
any
you
other
can
slide?
only watch tonight because I have another class today, and the recording takes some time.
Yeah.
Okay, inshallah tonight I will send you the link,
So,
and you can view this this lecture from my YouTube channel.
And don't forget to say that. Please subscribe my channel and press the icon button.
Yes. And please subscribe to my channel
and give thumb
view the video
and give thumb
and share with your friends. It is for public. And Mr. Shairada, help me become famous.
Yeah, become a celebrity. Be careful if you become the celebrity, be careful. By the way, is your slide is finished? I mean, you know, it looks like you're not yet, right?
We have like 7 more slides. We will continue in the next lecture.
Okay. So when will be?
Next week, same time.
Oh, next week.
This is a weekly class.
Yeah, you know, in the previous group, you said that there will be a session on 11. Is it still on, or it's moved to today?
It's moved to today.
Oh, okay.
The class is supposed to start tomorrow, but because of the conflicting schedule, some students cannot attend Sunday class because here they are working on Sunday. This class is supposed to be tomorrow, but because to accommodate some of our students who will be working tomorrow, so good question. This class is supposed to be tomorrow on Sunday, but we moved to Saturday morning to accommodate some students who are working tomorrow.
Okay.
So we want everybody to be in class. Okay. So you can view this video, inshallah, starting tonight.
Yeah.
So you can view tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning lah, Prof.
Tomorrow morning you can view.
Yeah.
You know.
Don't force yourself to work for us.
Yes, inshallah. Okay. So thank you everybody for the class.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. See you everyone next week. Have
So
a great night.
Next time I will try to speak more Malay.
Susah saya. Susah, you know.
To accommodate everybody. Sorry, I have to speak in English because they ask me questions in English. So when you ask me questions in English, I switch my mind to English, so I answer in English. If you ask the questions in Bahasa, then I switch my mind to Bahasa.
Oh, great. So I will speak in Bahasa Indonesia.
You are switching.
If you ask me a question in Indonesia, I will switch my mind to Indonesia.
Great, excellent.
Ibu-ibu, bapak-bapak.
Mr. Iradat, can you understand Bahasa Indonesia?
Yeah, but I cannot switch my mind from English to Bahasa. I can only switch my mind to English. Professor, it's really been nice lectures today, you know, very knowledgeable, informative, and the way you really delivered the lecture was really very appreciating. And I hope we will be continuing like this, and inshallah it will be a good session. I
Okay.
really appreciate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
everybody.
everybody. Thank you.
Yes.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, everyone.
Enjoy this class.
Yeah,
Inshallah,
very
if you
enjoyable.
have any questions, you can post up in WhatsApp. Boleh
Yeah.
tanya soalan dalam WhatsApp.
Okay.
Boleh tanya dalam grup, bagus. Sebab kalau
Okay.
soalan tu ni saya boleh jawab di situ, mungkin boleh benefit, memberi faedah kepada orang lain juga lah. Okay, that's it for today.
Okay.
Terima kasih.
Yes.
Assalamualaikum
Terima kasih.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.